Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanine. Once again, there's a lot of big things happening. Let's go here to this article on Ripple.com. And it's titled CBDCs, a conversation with James Wallace on the promise and potential of digital currencies. But there's a section here. I want you to pay close attention to a section here. There's a lot of very potent implications, in my humble opinion. It says here, it's titled Prospects for a Digital Dollar, right? You have to scroll down the page and it begins here. It says, since the U.S. is a regulatory complex environment, is likely the road to a U.S. CBDC will be a long journey. Of course, they have floated the idea of not going with a U.S. CBDC and just outright utilizing stable coins, right? Stable coins as a CBDC-like instrument, because we know that's pretty much what stable coins are, and just using something like that. So, and that was the idea floated by the Fed. So keep that in mind. They don't have to choose necessarily that path. But if they did choose that path, then what does that benefit? Who is the biggest mover of stable coins and pusher of stable coins right now? Circle. Who are they in bed with? Stellar. So keep that in mind also, right? So that could be huge. But let's continue on here. It says Ripple, and this is important, Ripple is engaged at multiple levels with the Federal Reserve and through organizations like the Digital Dollar Project to provide input and resources supporting CBDC research and explorations here in the U.S. He did note that commercial banks are increasingly leaning into conversations about how CBDCs will impact markets and what their role might be. Now, wait a minute. That was a whole lot. They tried to drop a whole lot and slide a whole lot in there. Pay close attention to that. Now, number one, let's go back here. Ripple is engaged at multiple levels with the Federal Reserve. Name them. Name them. We know about the Digital Dollar Project. We know about the Faster Payments, not the Faster Payments Task Force. Put that over here. The Faster Payments Council. Put that over here. We know about the Faster Payments Task Force. They said multiple levels. Why haven't those other levels been spoken about? Now, you might say, well, they may have an NDA, a Memorandum of Understanding, NDA as well. That means that that's very significant. You only need to have something hidden if it's significant, if it's integral, in my humble opinion. If it's nothing, there's nothing to talk about. That means there's sensitive information there that cannot be divulged at this time, right? And that means it's ongoing. As they said, we're engaged. That's current. Multiple levels. With the federal, now, if they're working with the Fed to any degree, and this is a for-profit company, then there has to be something in their interest, correct? What is the best thing that they offer? The best thing that they offer right now are payment channels with XRP, from what I've seen. Maybe you've seen something different. But wait a minute. If they get to work to any capacity with the federal government and they're moving a piece of that money, what does it do to that price? You tell me. Listen, they obviously want you to know this. They put this out there. Then, on top of dropping that mind-blowing piece of news, information about the Federal Reserve, because we all could postulate about that, but they're letting you know up front, hey, we're working on multiple levels. No more guessing. We're telling you. That's a huge difference. But not only that, then they drop this information here. He did note that commercial banks are increasingly leaning into conversations. Now, let's pair that with the information they told us some months back. They said they were going to be going after the U.S. commercial banks because we had won the lawsuit, that portion of the lawsuit. XRP is not a security. Now it's time to play. They said that, didn't they? They're letting the people know, hey, we're working right now. Hey, things are happening. There's no guarantees about the outcome, but we're working. We're getting after those banks. As a matter of fact, they're coming to us. That's what it means, leaning into conversations. Then let's decipher this piece here. Leaning into conversations about how CBDCs will impact their markets. Why? Because once again, like I've been saying, they don't want those central banks stepping on their toes. I'm not the only one saying it. We originally got this information from the Bank of International Settlements, who said what? The Bank of International Settlements, and multitude of their documents, which can still be found and read to this day, let it be known that the small banks were concerned that the central banks, because they would have their own wallets and CBDCs are central bank money, that they could take their clients, their customers, that they wouldn't need the commercial banks. And that's true. If they really wanted to, they wouldn't need commercial banks with this new technology. But the BIS said, hey, wait a minute, that's not what we're trying to do. We don't want to take on any more burden. We're going to just issue all of these infrastructures and technologies to you and let you run things like always. But the commercial banks, medium, small size banks, they still didn't like that. So they're going to have to adopt the new financial system for themselves, run infrastructures for themselves, possibly have digital currencies and iterations of such for themselves to interact with the system to keep it balanced. And that's why, another reason why they're going to lean into those discussions, I think, logically. Self-preservation is the first rule, correct? All right. And that leans heavily into Ripple's favor. Now, let's stop right there. Let's go to another article. So this next article here, very potent, is from coinmarketcap.com and is titled, US SEC officially acknowledges XRP as a non-security in new court filings. You can find multiple of articles about this, okay, in case you want to verify. So let's scroll down and read this little tidbit here. It says, in a significant turn of events, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission has publicly affirmed the non-security status of digital assets, including XRP. But this was brought on by XRP, so let's not play games here. This is about XRP primarily. All right. So XRP can play at any time. XRP can play. It says this announcement comes as part of the regulatory body's motion to appeal the Ripple victory ruling. So they had to make an admission. They had to admit it. The SEC stated in the newly filed motion, quote, the SEC does not seek appellate review of any holding relating to the fact that the underlying assets, which ones are those? The underlying assets here are nothing but computer code with no inherent value, unquote. Yeah, I mean, I love how they throw that little bit in there. No inherent value, sort of like your US dollar, right? When you took it off the gold standard way back when, well, who did that? Was it Nixon? Right. All right. They like to throw mud every little bit, but whatever. It says the SEC's recognition that digital assets are not inherently securities has elicited enthusiastic responses from the crypto community, particularly the XRP army, because we know what that's all about. We know what that's all about. Now, I know a lot of people may take umbrage to what I said about the US dollar. I'm not married to any currency. I just want to make lots and lots of capital wherever I can. Simple as that. But I will say this, it's an agreed upon value. That's not real. We're talking about solid things that are universal currencies anywhere. You don't have to go to war over it. It's just, you can pull it out the ground. It's there, has value. People can use it, right? In trade, even if an established system, it works with an established system or not, like silver, like gold. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about something that has true value. So they can throw all the shade they want on crypto, but pretty much all the other systems that they come up with, aside from using precious metals outright or just like trading commodities, is the same as crypto. It's all imaginary. But hey, disagree, I can respect that. I'm not here to debate these particular things. Let's move on here to another article. So this article here is from CoinGape.com and it's titled, Ripple now in Bank for International Settlements BIS panel. How much more winning do we have to do? People are still not going to believe, but that's on them. But I mean, it's just right here for everyone to see how far everything is going. So it only takes that one moment for everything to pop off and explode. It just takes that one moment. That's all. And it seems the buildup is getting bigger and bigger. It says Ripple XRP has been announced as an official partner of a key subgroup under the Bank for International Settlements Committee. Ripple, the company behind the popular cryptocurrency XRP, has been announced as an official partner of a key subgroup under a Bank for International Settlements Committee. This could be a massive development in the company's pursuit to create a crypto ecosystem between central banks around the world. If we play any part in that, and I'm not saying there's a guarantee in that, I'm not saying they are going to do that. If we play any part in that, what does it do to that price? You tell me. So this announcement comes at a time when the altcoin is back to being in bullish space thanks to the recently delivered summary judgment. It says here, according to the announcement, Ripple is now an official partner of the Cross-Border Payments Interoperability Extension Task Force. The task force is a subgroup within the Bank for International Settlements Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures. The BIS announcement comes just a few days after Michael Maybach, Chief executive officer at payments company MasterCard revealed that his company is in collaboration with the likes of Ripple as well in relation to a new central bank digital currency partner program. Look what's going on. The Phoenix is rising. I mean, it's risen multiple times. But for people to think that it can't be dirt cheap, you can't have all these connections for no reason. There's no way. There's no way. Not financial advice. Let me say that before I say these next words. Not financial advice. XRP will not stop at $3. There's no way. I don't believe that. I mean, I'm not in control of XRP or central banks or anything. Like I said, not financial advice. There's no way it stops at $5. No way it stops at 10, 15, 20. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. What you say is what you say. Say what you say, how you say it, whenever you're saying it. Just remember how you said it when you were saying it. All right. The esteemed Marshall Mathers once said that. I agree with that. You say what you want to say. There's no way, if everything goes according to plan, it's dirt cheap. No, it's going to skyrocket. That's how I personally feel. All right. Only speak for me. Now let's go here. The Bank of International Settlements, MasterCard, the Fed. We're getting all this news in the last month alone. Price be damned. Look at what's happening. You have store of values with insane, worth an insane amount. You think that XRP, which could also be used as a store of value as well, can't skyrocket with all of these different banks? They could buy up all the XRP. Yeah, I've said it before, sure. Because it's true. Let's move on here. This is from the cryptobasic.com and it's titled, Top Institutional Liquidity Provider Unveils XRP Options Trading. More activities. Bit Crypto Exchange has listed XRP options as part of its crypto derivatives platform to leverage XRP's increasingly positive sentiment after July 13th partial. Says here, according to the August 17th PR, Bit partnered with Orbit Markets to enable the settlement of a profit or loss in US dollars. Orbit Markets is an institutional liquidity provider offering structured derivatives and digital asset options. For this reason, Bit believes the firm will create order book liquidity, manage portfolio risks, and hedge accordingly using a combination of tested strategies. Options are derivative agreements where two parties enter into a contract for buying or selling a specific asset on a specific date and at a predetermined price. When the date arrives, the person holding the options position can either sell or buy the asset at the predetermined price. However, they are not under any obligation. All right, so I think we all are pretty familiar with options. I just want to get that little tidbit out there just in case people didn't know. Some people may not be familiar with that. It says typically traders prefer to hedge assets using options as to minimize risks that come with both bear and bull markets. Yeah, they're a very useful tool. It says furthermore, the exchange also stated they would offer a unified margin system to support collateralized trading of assets in one's account. The last month has seen crypto exchanges rampage to either list or relist Ripple's XRP token following the U.S. federal court's ruling. Okay, so now let's move on to another article here. This one here is from U.Today, and it is titled XRPL Oracle's new proposal released on GitHub. So many things happening. It never stops. Ripple and XRPL communities are discussing a new development proposal that can be a significant milestone in the progress of XRP Ledger's ecosystem of dApps. It can also contribute to bringing quote unquote real world data to the on-chain mechanisms rolled out on top of the XRPL. It says XRP Ledger might onboard its own oracles. Proposal published. Ripple software engineer Gregory Sapinyuk released a proposal dubbed 0045 XLS-45D price oracles on GitHub. It suggests introducing native on-chain oracles for XRP Ledger, a veteran decentralized network. Not unlike other blockchains, with these oracles, XRPL is poised to receive, quote, real-world data, for instance, market prices, exchange rates, interest rates, or weather conditions onto the blockchain, unquote. Let's stop there on this article. So the XRPL may get even better. They just keep making it better and better. This is why we stay ahead of everyone else. We stay ahead of the legacy system, which is the most important thing. All right. So now let's move on here. This article is from the cryptobasic.com, and it is titled XRP ETP exists on Swiss Stock Exchange. It says, while uncertainty surrounds the fate of an XRP exchange traded fund in the United States, a different investment vehicle for XRP exists on a prominent stock exchange in Europe. In a recent tweet, XRP influencer Darren claimed that an XRP ETF exists on the SIX Swiss exchange, a leading firm for crypto-based investment. However, the SIX stock exchange offers another form of an exchange-traded product, ETP, for XRP, not an ETF. Notably, ETP is a basket term that refers to various types of investment vehicles, such as exchange-traded commissions, ETCs, exchange-traded notes, ETNs, and exchange-traded funds, ETFs. All right, so listen, I think you're going to have to look into that and verify that for yourself just to make sure. There's a little bit of uncertainty in this article, in my humble opinion. Darren's tweet included a copy of the exchange's most recent monthly financial report capturing crypto products traded on the platform. All right, so if this is true, more good things happening. It says the attached report featured multiple crypto-focused ETPs. The ETPs included XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cosmos, Cardano, and 12 other. Okay, there we go. So that's confirmation right there. So that's very good. Let's move on here. This article here is from U.Today, and it's titled XRPL NFT creators have their rights protected. Here's why. And it says, on XRP Ledger, automatic royalties for creators are hard-coded into the on-chain design of non-fungible tokens. Here's why their revenues do not depend on the tokenomics of marketplaces they are selling their content on. This statement was made by Emi Yoshikawa, Ripple's VP of Strategy Operations. As such, XRP Ledger offers an unparalleled level of creators' rights protection. This in turn leads to more fair, decentralized, and democratic revenue sharing model in the NFT sphere. Yoshikawa made her comment responding to a bitter statement of billionaire and tech entrepreneur Mark Cuban. The quote Shark Tank unquote host slammed OpenSea for refusing to pay royalties to artists. Really? I didn't know that. Okay. It says not collecting and paying royalties on NFT sales is a huge mistake by OpenSea. It diminished trust in the platform and hurts the industry. And I say this as an OpenSea investor, unquote. It says NFT transactions on XRP Ledger are rocketing. It says some segment majors, including Yuga Labs, are even considering ceasing all collaboration with OpenSea after its much criticized decision. Meanwhile, all key metrics of XRP Ledger's NFT ecosystem are growing. As per data shared by the XP Market Tracker in July, NFT transactions on XRPL spiked by almost 80%. All right, so let's move on here. So this article here is from the cryptobasic.com, and it says here are 28 global businesses accepting XRP as payment. I was asking about this. I said, could we get a list? And it's very interesting that they put out a list. I don't know if they maybe somebody might have seen the channel. I don't know. But we're not going to read all of them, but this was very interesting. Let's start here with the section titled Precious Metal Stores, because I thought this was good. It says Origentum GmbH, one store. AppMex, they have AppMex. AppMex is going to be accepting XRP payments. I like AppMex. They're one of my favorite precious metal stores. So that's really good. It says, and I know AppMex, I believe they have like Bitcoin payment already, something like that. It says, and Sharps Pixley are 3 leading brokers for precious metals that acknowledge XRP payments. It says, while AppMex represents American Precious Metals Exchange, likewise, Sharps Pixley is a British firm established in 1957. BitPay also mentioned Stax Bowers as a currency-based business that accepts XRP. Entertainment firms, AMC Theaters, Games Planet, Prepaid Gamer Online, and Play-Asia.com are some of the top businesses which accept XRP in exchange for movies, games, and other amusement products. Notably, Crypto Turismo is a tourist business where XRP is tenable. So then they have flight and automobile businesses. Furthermore, it says BitPay noted that the airline business Air Baltic accepts XRP. Similarly, Ogara Coach, dealing in automobiles, acknowledges XRP payment. We'll just do this a little bit and then we're going to leave off here. If you want to read the rest, it's on cryptobasic.com. Show them some love. It says BitPay listed multiple luxury brands that consider XRP a worthy payment instrument. It includes Mark Gebauer Lifestyle GmbH, Joma Shop, Ace Jewelers, Hublot, Ogara Coach, Belliani, PacSun, Wrist Aficionado, and Stefan Silver Fine Jewelers. So there's a lot going on here. Good job, Crypto Basic. They have a lot more sections. Next section is hosting sites. They have healthcare providers. They have gadget firms here. They have food businesses here. I mean, they did a good job on this article, my humble opinion. Let's move on here. So a little bit of Stellar XLM related news. This is from Stronghold. Stronghold continues to move forward, push everything forward. They're doing a good job. It says here, make regulation work for you, right? So sometimes called the fourth, quote unquote, fourth branch of government in the United States, regulation has come a long way since court rulings and early agencies. Today, regulations exist for everything from medications to business acquisitions. Keeping up with regulations can be daunting. Let's skip that part there. It says, here's the good news. You don't need to spend hours perusing legal documents to stay compliant. So what is Stronghold trying to tell clients and potential clients? Hey, you don't have to have any fears. Don't worry about regulations when it comes to crypto. We're taking all the burden off your shoulders. They literally say that. Come use us. Come use this great offering built on Stellar. We can get going right now. And that's what we need on Stellar. We need someone that can go bonkers in the US, right? Making deals everywhere and push Stellar forward if no one else is going to do it. That's how I feel. And so Stronghold is saying we can do that. It says here, companies like Stronghold exist to take the regulatory burden off your shoulders. It says in the financial world, a solid payment provider will bridge the gap between regulation and your work. We'll explore this in action below. So it says make regulation simple with Stronghold. Stronghold builds payment options with compliance in mind. From credit card processing to invoicing, we integrate secure and compliant processing. Payments flow from your customers' accounts to your business accounts. We maintain industry's most demanding certifications, including SOC Type 2 and the NACHA ACH audit to support your work. Now, I don't know how much they have going on in the United States, but let's read a little tidbit here because I think they might elaborate a little bit. Finally, he says we act as a trusted partner for businesses in high compliance industry. If you're operating in a sector, we update our payments to reflect changing legislation. We have a look at our case study with Haven, a thriving business operating across 14 locations in California. So they are US active. Good job, Stronghold. So this article here is from cryptonewsflash.com and it is titled VeChain leads $1 billion digitals market as 450 developers turn to VET blockchain ecosystem for new global standard. I love VeChain. I love all the main utility coins. All right. It says the VeChain network has been actualizing, I had to use one of my words, its mainstream adoption of digitals to streamline global enterprises amid the rise of counterfeit products from different parts of the world. Through the leading NFT marketplace on the VeChain network, World of V, users can now seamlessly verify the authenticity of a product at their comfort. In a bid to ensure mainstream adoption, the World of V marketplace announced that users do not need an application or gas payment for the transaction. Interestingly, users can seamlessly log in and mint the NFTs via their social media accounts. Wow. To initiate the mainstream adoption of the use of digitals, the World of V has partnered with the leading NFT collection community, Bored Ape Yacht Club. Notably, the World of V provides a growing number of builders with the NFC technology used to easily verify physical products via blockchain. So VeChain continues to win. Listen, once again, not financial advice. I'm expecting big things out of all of these utility coins in the next bull run. It says essentially a merchant is only expected to have a specific digitals starter kit consisting of NFC to connect to the physical items with blockchain to avoid counterfeit products. So VeChain continues to look good as we storm towards, well, we're going to have to walk through maybe a storm or two, right? To be completely honest, before we get to that next true bull run. But when we do, I think it's going to be a beautiful bull run. So now we're going to end off here. This is from U.Today, and it's titled Hedera Hbar jumps 16%. Here's key reason behind rise. It says Hedera sees surge in institutional adoption. The key reason for Hbar's recent price climb might be the positive sentiment surrounding the Hedera network, which we always knew was coming. It says, given a recent uptick in institutional adoption. On August 14th, when the word of the Federal Reserve's Fed now adding Drop, a Hedera-based micropayments platform as a service provider spread, Hbar experienced a significant increase. It says Hyundai and Kia, two major automakers, have embraced the Hedera network, marking yet another significant adoption milestone for the platform. Notably, optimism was bolstered by the news that automakers Hyundai and Kia had established an AI-enabled supply chain carbon emissions tracking system on the Hedera network. And they've been doing a good job. We always knew Hedera had potential. They will go much further in the next bull run. I expect all of the potential to be realized in future times. So now, let's just very quickly jump through some of this legacy banking system news so we can keep up with what's going on there. So this is from the dailyhodl.com. And it says U.S. banks suffer $18 billion in losses as JP Morgan Chase and Capital One take big hits from bad loans. We've been talking about this. The legacy system is falling rapidly. It says America's biggest banks are taking hits to their bottom line as soaring interest rates cause billions of dollars in loans to fall apart. JP Morgan Chase, Capital One, and others lost a combined $18.9 billion in the second quarter. The banks are facing, quote, charge-offs, unquote, or losses on loans that have now been designated as unrecoverable at 17% higher rate than the previous 3 months and 75% higher rate than 2022. Let's move on here to another article. This one is from the dailyhodl.com. I'm doing my best to get you all the most potent information possible. It says here, from the dailyhodl.com, a U.S. bank is denying and freezing accounts. Customers at a billion-dollar U.S. bank say they have been unable to access their funds for days and weeks at a time. We just covered this about a few other banks, maybe about 2 weeks ago. Another bank is doing it. It says Green Dot Bank, which offers banking and debit card services to people who shop at Walmart, is accused of giving the runaround to a group of customers who are essentially locked out of their accounts, reports NBC News. The bank, which has 33 million customers, initially said account balances and transactions were impacted by an issue with a payment processing partner. Now the bank says the systems are fully up and running, but customers say the problems persist. So they're doing the legacy system continues to experience problems. Just be careful out there. It says at the time of publishing, the web outage tracker up down radar reports a, quote, possible outage. So it continues on, even though they're saying otherwise. Unbelievable. One more reason why the new financial system is coming in hot, right? So now, this is from thesun.com. This is the last article. We're going to end off here. It says Fifth Third Bank shutting down locations. It says major U.S. bank with more than 1,000 locations nationwide closing branches as frustrated customers are directed elsewhere. We've heard this before. It's like a repeating thing here now, right? It says the bank located in downtown Cincinnati inside a Kroger store is the ninth largest U.S.-based consumer bank, said Fifth Third spokeswoman Beth Oates. Customers will be directed to another location, either in Mason or in Deerfield Township, said Oates. There are 102 Fifth Third branches in Greater Cincinnati, the most of any bank. So there we go. The banking woes continue. The new financial system is looking good as they continue to build and make things better and better. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.